I want to do something a little different with the Coach's Corner this week because I feel that we've already had some good conversations about some instructional things. And so inspired by some one-pocket conversation, I want to just talk a little bit about my favorite one-pocket story. I think that this is something that the listeners will enjoy. This was not something that happened to me. So I heard this but a player I know this is probably, 20 years ago at this point, but he went to a pool tournament in Wisconsin, actually. And, he was having a tough day. He got a tough draw. He got beat out of the tournament early, didn't play all that well. Things weren't really going his way. But after he got beat, he decided he ended up getting into a game with with an older gentleman playing some 100 a game one pocket. And so they started playing. And they put up the money because they didn't know each other. And, $100, you might put up the money with a stranger. So they just put up 100 each on the lights or whatever, tucked it into the ball return, whatever it was. And they just, whoever won, then, you'd post up for the next game. So the guy I know that was telling me the story, he jumped out and started playing really good. And he started getting a few games ahead, but it wasn't easy because, this older guy, he was experienced and he played deliberate. He didn't make a lot of careless mistakes. And so even the games that he was, even the games that this guy was winning, he was having to win a lot of them later in stages in the game and they were taking a while. And then the older guy was winning some games too. So, he'd win, he wasn't winning every game. He was winning 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 3 or, stuff like that. So it was slow, but it was steady, and it was clear that, this guy was the better player, and he was, the younger guy was the better player, and he was kind of grinding it out. And after playing for 5 or 6 hours, he was up like $600, or $700, something like that, and he was feeling pretty good. But now he was kind of at the spot where he was like ready for the other guy to quit. He's like, all right, I'm up like $600-700. I've established I'm the better player. We've been playing all day, If this other guy wanted to pull up, that'd be great because then I could just, be up. I could be winner for the weekend. I could, buy a drink, kind of relax, call it a day. But the other guy didn't really show any signs of quitting, and of course, when you're playing for money, you don't quit when you're ahead, generally speaking. So they keep playing and this guy is like, the younger guy is just getting kind of irritated because these games are just taking longer and longer and the guy's playing better. And so now they're just kind of seesawing and, they're going back and forth and hours are passing and maybe he's up one more game. He's just like, at what point is this guy going to pull up? And finally, after about 8 or 9 hours of play, when the guy went to post up for his next game, up until this point, he'd been posted with $100 bills. And when he posted up for the next game, he posted up with 520s. And so the younger guy's like, well, that's a little different. Huh. Okay. He might be out of the hundreds, might be getting close here. And after winning that game, the guy pulled out 3 more 20s and then a couple of 10s and a 5. And then he excused himself, went out to his car, came back and fished out and rounded out like a couple more 5s and some 1s to make up the $100 for the last game. And so, and he put up the money and he said, you can count it as 100. And so the guy's like, the younger guy's like, well, looks like he's on his last shell. And he's like, this is awesome. He's like, I'm up like whatever, $900. If I win this, I'm up 1,000. Looks like the guy's out of cash. I could call it a day. I'm winning, it's a pretty good score. And so he's like, I have to win this game. He's like, I have to win this game because man, if the guy wins this game, he could come back. It could go for another 5 hours. Like, I just need to put this thing away. He's tired. He's worn out. I just want to put this guy away. So they play, and this guy just bears down. But man, you could tell, the older guy obviously wants to win this game too. And you could tell it was like a hill. They were both digging really deep, really, really refocused. Even after playing all this time, they were both every shot like it was a hill. And it comes down to the last ball. And it's just a nail biter. And he's got this long cross bank. He finally gets a kind of a chance to win, but he's got to shoot it with a little spin to miss the kiss. And he's shooting from 7 feet away. And it's just like, but this is his best chance to score. And he just needs to make this shot. And when he was telling me the story, he explained to me like, how it just seemed like the most important shot he's ever shot in his life. And he got on the ball and he got down and you could just feel it and you could see the edge of the ball and he turned it in and he set that cue ball 7 feet away, clipped the edge of it, beat the kiss, and watched that ball trickle over, hang up, and topple into his hole. And he said, I just remember how excited he was. That was like the best shot I've ever made. And as he collects the money, the old guy reaches into his under pocket, pulls out a roll of $100 bills, and posts up for the next game. And the young guy just stared in complete disbelief, like, are you kidding me? And the old guy just calmly racked the balls. And the young guy was so spent and so rattled and was so sure it was over, he didn't know what to do. And before you know it, this guy caught a gear, started coming back and outplaying him, and he was just like completely spent and lost his focus. And the old guy ended up coming back and getting even and quitting. And now the guy is stuck for like $100 in table time on top of having let this guy get off the hook after getting beaten out and being stuck hotel and gas. And he was like, he couldn't believe what happened. And so anyway, I won't say who that story happened to, but that's got to be one of my favorite stories. And what a great move. It just shows that experience is more than knowing how to move the balls around. So
you're going to tell me off air. I know that.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's a good story. I like that. That's funny.